welcome to our first tarot-inspired yoga class. I am so excited to share this with you guys. So we're gonna jump right in and I'll tell you our tarot card for today's practice is called the Wheel of Fortune. So before we start moving, I just wanted to go over a little bit of the themes around this card, especially for those of you who are not familiar with tarot. The Wheel of Fortune is one of my favorite cards because the Wheel of Fortune is all about change and fate and karma and the unknown. So something that I think we can all identify with. We've all dealt with moments in our lives where things can abruptly change. We have to change course from where we were originally planning to go. And it can be really jarring. It can be really scary because humans don't do well with the unknown. There's something about not knowing where we're going that can really throw us off track. And I can completely understand this because I am someone who is a definite perfectionist. I like things organized. I like to have my days scheduled out. So when something kind of throws me off from my usual schedule, it can kind of throw off my whole day, throw off my whole mood. And if I let it can just simmer in my head and you can kind of maybe feel some regret about how things went versus how you wish they would go. So change is inevitable, right? All of our lives are going to have moments where things need to change because if there's one thing we can count on, it's that nothing lasts forever. All the things we love in life are not always going to be around. All the people we love are not always going to be around. And all the difficult times, it's also important to remember that the difficult times that feel like they're going to last forever and ever, even those things don't last. So what can we do in those moments where we feel like there's a sudden change and we're thrown off and we feel like our whole lives are in chaos? What does the Wheel of Fortune card tell us about this? What's the advice? And the main takeaway that I get from this card is that change is inevitable, so we might as well embrace the unknown. There's a lot of suffering around change because there's the change itself and then there's all the wondering and worrying and just thinking about the change, and that gives us so much suffering in our hearts as well. So if we can eliminate that second half, all the worrying and wondering and trying to figure things out, maybe we'll suffer just a little bit less, and maybe the change won't feel so much like it's upheaving our life. One thing that won't change is the people in our lives that support us, the rituals we have, like meditation and yoga and tarot cards. Those things will be there for us in our times of need, in the times where things are changing and we need some support. So in today's yoga practice, we're going to try to focus on the ways that change can be good. Because it's true that although changes in the unknown can feel really scary, they can also be really good for us and help us open up to new things and new experiences. So we're going to try to focus on the good side of change, all the people around us, and our rituals that support us. So before we get moving, grab any props that you like to use. Highly recommend a pair of blocks. That's always my go-to. And we'll get started with a warm-up. We're going to be moving all around the mat today because the Wheel of Fortune, it's all about throwing us in different directions and maybe a little bit of chaos. So we'll be facing one way and another way and turning around. So today, let's just embrace the change, embrace some new ways to do yoga. All right, I'll stop my spiel let's get moving. We'll start with some simple cat and cow motions on our hands and knees. Get our spine nice and warmed up. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. On the inhale, sink the belly down towards the mat. Gaze forward and arch the back. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, round the spine, send the back of the heart up to the ceiling. Inhale, open up, arch the back, maybe close the eyes and just feel how it feels. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, round and tuck the chin. Press up through the back of the heart. Inhale, sink the belly, gaze forward. Exhale, round the spine. One more time each way. Inhale, open up. Exhale, round. Beautiful. Send the hips back towards the heels. Find a nice child's pose. Reach the arms out long in front of you. Maybe lower the forehead down to the mat and let the hips sink towards the heels. One breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lift back up to tabletop pose. We'll start warming up our hips a little bit. From our tabletop, lift the right knee and kick the right foot out to the right. Maybe start pulsing with that right foot up towards the ceiling. Inhale here. Exhale, swing the right foot back and around, cross it over the left leg. You can stay here if this feels like enough of a stretch for the outer right hip, or just start to slide the right foot back, folding the torso over the bent knee for a nice little gentle pigeon pose. Feel the stretch in the outer left hip. Bow the head towards the mat. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lift back up, coming up the same way you came. Unwind the right foot, kick it out to the side. And this time, send the right foot up forward to the outside of the right hand. So we're in a knees down lizard lunge. Inhale, gaze forward, sink the hips down. Feel a nice stretch in the left hip flexor. Exhale, you might want to grab your blocks here if you've got them, just to give your torso a little more space. We're going to start to send the hips back, straighten through the right leg, and kick the right toes up towards the ceiling for a half splits. Take your right thumb, place it in your right hip crease, and just gently tug that right hip back and let the left hip come forward. Should feel a nice stretch in the back of the right hamstring. Inhale, lengthen the spine forward. Exhale, fold forward. Bow the head. You can keep a nice bend in that right knee if your hamstrings are feeling really tight. But even if they aren't, a nice little mini micro bend in that right knee. Inhale, lift the torso, move back to our lizard lunge. Inhale, open the chest, sink the left hip forward. And we're going to move back the way we came. Exhale, send the hips back, straighten the right leg, half splits. Inhale, move back forward, moving nice and slow. Sink the hips down. Exhale, send the hips back, straighten the right leg. Beautiful. Move back to a lunge. We'll step the right knee back to meet the left, back in our neutral tabletop position. Maybe move through a few cat and cows on your own, just to reset. And then we'll do that same sequence on the other side. From a neutral tabletop position, lift the left knee and kick the left foot out to the side. Maybe pulse the left foot up. Just a few. And then exhale, swing the left foot around and back, cross over the right foot. Tuck the left toes. You can stay here or just start to slide that left foot back, lowering the torso onto the right knee for a nice gentle pigeon pose. Get a good stretch in that outer right hip. Bow the head down. Take a few relaxing breaths. Taking our time, no need to rush. Inhale, come up to the hands, back where we came. Unwind the left foot, kick it out to the side. And then swing it up and forward to the outside of the left hand for a lizard lunge. You can lower down into that right hip. Sink the hips down, gaze forward. Inhale here. On the exhale, maybe grab your blocks if you like that on the other side, just to lift the torso up a bit. Send both hips back, straighten the left leg, and send the left toes up towards the ceiling. Take your left thumb, place it in your left hip crease, and gently drag the left hip back, and let the right hip move forward just slightly. Keep a micro bend in that straight leg, or a macro bend. Honestly, as long as you're feeling the stretch and it feels good to you, do what you gotta do. We're adaptable here, right? Inhale, gaze forward, open the chest, and exhale, fold down as much as feels good. No need to push farther than we need to go. One more breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Lift up out of the stretch. Plant the left foot. Move forward to your lizard lunge. Sink the right hip down. Gaze forward. Inhale. Exhale back to our half split. Send the hips back. Straighten the left leg. Inhale, move forward, lizard lunge, open the chest, sink the hips down. And exhale, send the hips back, half splits. One more time each way. Inhale, move forward, sink the hips. And exhale, half splits. Beautiful. Move back to our lunge, step back, neutral tabletop position, tuck the toes, send the hips up and back for our first downward facing dog. Feel free to pedal out the feet, maybe move the hips side to side, shake the head yes, and shake the head no, loosen up the neck. Take a deep inhale in and exhale, sigh it out. One more time. Deep inhale in. Exhale, sigh it out. Beautiful. Slowly tiptoe the feet forward, landing in a standing forward fold at the front of the mat. Inhale, hands on the shins, lift up halfway, lengthen the spine forward, and exhale, fold forward over the legs, maybe bend through the knees. You can grab opposite elbows for a ragdoll, and sway side to side. Bend the knees as much as you need. Think about compressing the torso towards the thighs. Lower the hands down to the mat. Inhale, bend the knees, sweep the arms up overhead, press the palms together. And exhale, arms by the sides. Beautiful. I think we're plenty warmed up. So we're gonna get into our main flow. Now remember, we'll be moving all over the mat. We'll be facing different directions. My advice, just go with it. Embrace the unknown. We can adapt to all this change, right? Beautiful. Okay, starting at the top of our mat, in Tadasana. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, press the palms together. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, plant the hands down, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right foot up and back, toes point down. Exhale, knee to nose, lean forward, step the right foot between the hands. We're moving towards high lunge, so maybe walk the feet out onto train tracks. Give your hips some space. Stay up on the ball of the left foot. Bend through both knees. Inhale, lift the torso, sweep the arms up overhead for a high lunge. Inhale, reach up, lengthen the spine. Exhale, bend through the elbows, open the chest. We're opening our wings. Opening to new experiences, new changes. Inhale, reach up towards the ceiling. Turn towards the left side of your mat. Legs straight, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, turn the toes out slightly. We're moving towards Goddess Pose. So you can move the arms towards goalposts. Bend through both knees and sink the hips down. Take up as much space as you'd like. You can do whatever you'd like with the arms. Stay at the goalposts. You can reach up. You can do hands on the knees, maybe lower one shoulder and another shoulder, or just sway side to side. I just really love Goddess Pose because I think it's a very powerful pose. We take up so much space and we don't have to apologize for it, right? We're embracing our inner goddess. We can take any changes that come towards us because we know we're super strong in our Goddess Pose. Inhale, lift up out of the pose, straighten the legs, reach up. And here we go. We're turning towards the back of the mat. Lift up onto the ball of the right foot, bend through both knees, and we're in a high lunge towards the back of the mat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend the elbows, open the wings, open the chest up. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, lower the hands to the mat, lower the right knee. If you'd like your blocks here, feel free to take a pause, go get them. Otherwise, reach both arms up overhead, sink the hips down, low lunge. Inhale here. On exhale, open the wings, and then send the arms reaching back. Send the hips back, looking familiar. Straighten through the left leg, but this time lower the hips all the way down so the right hip is resting on the right ankle. You can keep the hands reaching behind you or lower them to the mat. And just bow the torso over the right thigh. Take a moment, feel the stretch. Inhale, lift the torso. Crawl the hands forward. Bend through the left knee, low lunge. And reach up towards the ceiling. Exhale. Open the elbows, open the wings. Reach back with the hands. Stretch through the shoulders. Send the hips back, straighten the left leg. And sit all the way down. Bow forward. Torso over the right thigh. Feel that left hamstring. Inhale, lift back up. Crawl forward, low lunge. Reach up with the hands one more time. And then lower the right hand down, plant it on the mat. Plant the left hand on the left knee and twist towards the left. You can stay here if this feels like enough of a twist for you, or you can add in a quad stretch by bending through the right knee. Draw the right heel towards the right hip. Sweep the left arm up and back. Grab onto the right toes or the ankle. Now send the hips back to meet the heel. And then slowly lean forward for a deeper quad stretch on the right side. Open the chest up towards the left. Keep that twist. Draw the left knee towards center. Slight micro bend in the right elbow. One more inhale. On the exhale, slowly without slingshotting, let go of the right foot. Lower it down. Turn back towards the back of your mat. Tuck the right toes. Lift the right knee. Lean forward for a standing half split. So send the right foot up and back behind you, hands on the mat in front of you, all the weight in the left foot. If you want to go for something a little non-traditional, you can stay here or you can bend through the right knee, open the hips towards the right, and then for a little bit more, you can crawl the hands towards the left side, that left corner of the mat. Get a little hip stretch, a little side body stretch. Just make it a little fancy. Inhale, crawl it back towards center. Straighten out through the right leg. From here, lower the right foot down and cross it behind the left ankle. So the right ankle is crossed behind the left. Hands on the mat. Inhale, slowly roll up to a stand. So we're facing the back of the mat. From here, we're just gonna unwind. Whoop. So now our legs are not crossed. We're at the back of the mat, facing the front. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward. Crawl the hands forward, meeting in a downward facing dog. Inhale here. Exhale, lower knees, chest, and chin. Keep the booty lifted. And then lower the hips down. From here, you can take a low cobra or press into the hands, lift up to a high cobra. If you want to make it even more fancy, because I love throwing you curveballs today, bend through both knees, and then lower the feet down to the left, and lift them back up. Lower to the right, lift them back up. One more time each side. To the left, and up, to the right, and up. Lower the feet, lower the torso, tuck the toes, lift up to tabletop, and up to downward facing dog. Gaze forward at the hands. Step or hop forward, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, bend the knees, sweep the arms up overhead, press the palms together. And exhale, arms by the sides, Tadasana. Woo, great job everyone. We made it through side number one. We're gonna do all that again on the other side, and then we'll go straight to our cool down. So you've done it once, I know you can do it again. Let's do it. Grab a glass of water, shake it out if you need to, and meet me back here in Tadasana at the top of the mat when you're ready. Take a deep inhale, lengthen up, and exhale. Inhale, ground into the feet. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Press the palms together. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot up overhead, toes point down. Exhale, left knee to nose, lean forward. Step the left foot between the hands, moving towards high lunge, so walk the feet out onto train tracks. Stay up on the ball of the right foot, bend both knees. And inhale, lift the torso, reach the arms up overhead for a high lunge. Inhale, gather some length in the spine. Exhale, bend the elbows, open the wings. We're opening our heart to all the chaos that the Wheel of Fortune offers to us. We are open to change. Inhale, reach the arms back up. Exhale, open to the right side of the mat. Reach the arms up, straighten through both legs. Moving towards Goddess Pose. So, point the toes out just slightly. You can bend through the elbows for robot arms. Bend through both knees, sink the hips down. For our powerful Goddess Pose. Do whatever feels good for your hands here. You can sway if that feels good to open up those inner hips. But whatever you do, just take up space. Know that you are allowed to take up space. You are allowed to be strong. Couple more breaths here in Goddess. Inhale. Exhale, straighten the legs, reach up, and we'll turn towards high lunge towards the back of the mat. So bend through both knees, lift up onto the ball of the left foot. Right foot is towards the back of the mat. Reach the arms up, inhale. Exhale, bend through the elbows, open the wings. Inhale, reach up, and lower the hands down. Lower the left knee, moving towards our low lunge. Grab blocks if you like, you use them. Sweep the arms up, sink forward into the hips. Inhale here. Exhale, open the wings. Reach the hands back behind you, open up through the shoulders. Now send the hips back, straighten through the right leg. Point the toes up and sit the left hip all the way down on the left ankle. You can keep the arms reaching back or lower them down to the mat. And on the exhale, bow the head forward. Let the torso meet the left thigh. Feel that nice stretch through the right hamstring. And take a few breaths, just feeling the pose. Inhale, lift the torso. Crawl the hands forward, bend through the right knee, back to our low lunge. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, sink the hips down. Bend through both elbows here, open the wings. Reach the arms back, straighten through the right leg, send the hips back, and down onto the left ankle. Lower the hands, bow forward. Inhale, lift up, crawl the hands forward, low lunge. Reach the arms up one last time. Really sink into that left hip. And then lower the hands. Plant the left palm onto the mat. Right hand on the right knee. And twist towards the right side. You are welcome to stay here if this feels good to you, just staying in the twist. Or to add a little bit of a quad stretch, bend through the left knee, send the left heel towards the hips, sweep the right arm up and back, grab onto the left toes, the ankle, send the hips back to meet the ankle, and then slowly leaning forward to intensify the quad stretch. Keep opening the shoulders up towards the right. Slight micro bend in that left elbow. Inhale here. Exhale, let go of the left foot without slingshotting. Lower the left toes down. Turn towards the back of the mat. Tuck the left toes, lift the left knee. We're going to send all our weight into the right foot. Lift the left foot up for a standing half split. You can stay in this traditional version or bend through the left knee, open the hips up towards the left, and to intensify, you can crawl the hands towards the right side of the mat on the outside of the right foot. Get a nice hip stretch, nice opening on the left side body. Do what feels good for you. Be adaptable in the moment. Slowly crawl the hands back towards center, straighten out through the left foot. Slowly lower the left foot, cross the left ankle behind the right. Hands are on the mat here, left foot behind right. Roll up the spine all the way to standing. Our legs are crossed, we're facing the back of the mat. And we'll just unwind towards the left. And so now we're standing in Tadasana at the back of the mat, facing forward. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, lower the hands. Crawl the hands forward, meeting in a downward facing dog. Beautiful. Lower the knees, chest and chin. Keep the booty lifted. And then sink down to the belly. Again, you can do low cobra here, or press into the hands and lift up to high cobra. If you want to do the fancy side to side, feel free to join me, or just stay here stationary. So you can bend through both knees, kick the feet to the right, and back up to center. Kick towards the left, back to center. Kick towards the right, back to center. One more time. Kick the left, back to center. Lower the feet, and lower onto the belly. Now listen, we're going to change it up from last time. We're going to lift up onto forearms for Sphinx pose. Remember, change is inevitable. So we're going to change it up, and we're going to adapt. Because I got you. We're in this together. We are all in this moment of change. So from our Sphinx, lift up onto the palm of the right hand. Press yourself so you're on your left hip. And then keep rolling until you land in a seated position. Look, we're off the mat. It's okay. We're going to adapt to the situation. Widen out the feet so we're in a wide-legged seated position. Now, if wide-legged forward fold is not for you, no worries. Just keep your hands tented behind the hips and just work on keeping the torso lengthen up towards the ceiling. Sometimes that can be enough of a challenge. If you want a little more, you can place the hands in front of you and fold forward. Keeping a nice long spine. Maybe you start to sway left to right. This always feels good to me in a forward fold. Keep the feet and the legs active here. Toes are pointing straight up towards the ceiling. From here, we're going to crawl the hands towards the left foot. Grab the left foot on the outside with the left hand. Reach the right arm up and overhead, opening the torso up towards the right. If it's hard to see me on camera, don't worry. I am still here to guide you. Reach forward with the right hand, but keep the shoulders open towards the side. Inhale here. On the exhale, slowly lower the right shoulder towards the mat. Lower both hands, crawl them over to the right. Grab the outside of the right hand with the right foot, or outside of the right foot with the right hand, excuse me. Reach the left arm up and overhead, opening the torso and the shoulders up towards the left side. Beautiful. Lengthen through the left side and open up the chest and shoulders. One more breath. Inhale. On the exhale, slowly lower the left shoulder down towards the floor. Lower both hands. Crawl them back towards center and bow the head forward. Inhale, lift up out of the pose. From here, I'm going to move over this way so you can see what I'm doing. From here, in our wide-legged forward fold, we're going to bend through the right knee, cross the right foot over the left leg, plant the right hand behind us, lift the left arm up with an inhale. Exhale, wrap the arm around the left knee and twist towards the right. Nice little seated stretch. Don't strain yourself trying to twist as far as you can go. That's not what we're here for. We're here to find what feels good right now in this moment. Maybe that's different from yesterday. Maybe it's different from a week ago or a month ago. It doesn't matter. We're doing what feels good for our bodies right now. Inhale, lengthen up towards the ceiling. Exhale, twist through the belly. One more inhale. Exhale, unwind. Bow over towards the left side. And we'll just open the legs out again. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So right leg is straight, bend through the left knee, cross it over the right leg. Left hand is on the mat behind the hips. Inhale, right arm up towards the ceiling. Exhale, wrap the right arm around the left leg and twist towards the left. Try not to make it into a tug of war. We are no longer struggling and fighting with our bodies. We're listening to what we need. What do you need today? A little softness, maybe a little malleability, a little change. Whatever it is, it's perfect. Inhale, lengthen the spine up towards the ceiling. Exhale, twist through the belly. Unwind, bow over the right side. From here, bend through the right knee. That's right, I'm switching it up again. Both knees are bent. Plant both hands towards the front of the mat. tuck both toes, and without thinking, just lift the hips, unwind the feet, and however you get there, meet in a downward facing dog. Beautiful. However you get there was perfect. Gaze forward at the hands, bend through the knees, step or hop forward, forward fold. Inhale, bend the knees, sweep the arms up overhead, press the palms together, and exhale, arms by the sides. Beautiful. Great job, everyone. I know that was a little chaotic and all over the place, and we're facing this way and that way, but sometimes it can feel good to just do something crazy and do something different, right? So we're gonna cool down a little bit more. We've cooled down a little bit, but we're gonna keep it going with a little standing ragdoll circles. I'm sure they have an official name, but I don't know what to name these. So just stand in the middle of your mat. You can face towards me. Shake out through the arms. And we're gonna treat our arms like dead weight right now. So our arms are gonna do nothing. They're just there like limp noodles. So from here, we're just gonna hinge through the hips, maybe bend through the knees slightly, and fold forward. Keep those arms like limp little jelly noodles. They're not helping us one bit. Most of the movement is going to come through our torso. So, from our ragdoll position, draw the torso towards the left leg. Bring the arms with you. Keep them dead weight. And then slowly, slow as you can, lift up through the left side, all the way up to standing. Kind of like rolling up through the spine, but only on one side. So we're going to come back the same way we came. Limp noodle arms. Kind of just bend through the left side. Lower the torso down towards the left foot. And move towards center, ragdoll position. Now let's move through the other side. Draw the torso and our limp noodle arms towards the right foot. And slowly, slow as you can, lifting up through the right side, all the way to standing. Beautiful. Same way we came, bend through the right side, arms are dead weight, slowly lowering our torso down towards the right foot, and moving towards center. Beautiful. Let's do that one more time on each side. From our ragdoll, draw the torso towards the left foot. Slowly as possible, lift up through the left side. Back up to standing. Let's move back where we came. Bend through the left side. Slowly draw our heavy torso down through the left foot. And back to center. Last time on the right side. Draw the torso towards the right foot. Slowly as you possibly can, lifting up the torso through the right side, using those side body muscles, and lifting up to center. Back down where we came, side bend to the right side, limp noodle arms. Draw yourself down towards the right foot and back to center. Beautiful. From here, just roll up through the center and back to standing. I just love doing those ragdoll circles. I think they feel so good on the spine and the side body, and it just feels good. Widen out the feet just slightly. We're going to go down to a yogi squat. So bend through the knees, squat down. Feel free to grab a block or two if that feels better for you. Underneath your seat, just kind of lifts your seat just a little bit. Takes the pressure off the knees, off the hips. Otherwise, we'll just hang out here for a moment. Press the hands together at heart center. Maybe use the elbows to send the knees out towards the sides. Lengthen up through the torso. Draw the crown of the head towards the ceiling. Maybe close the eyes if it feels good. You can sway side to side here as well. I always welcome movement in any of these yoga poses if it's calling to you. Even if it's not something I cue for you, feel free. Do what feels good in your body. That is my motto. If the eyes are closed, slowly open them back up. Place one hand behind you. Sit down on the mat. Everybody meet. Send the legs out long in front of you. We'll do just one forward fold. Inhale, reach both arms up overhead. Exhale, hinge at the hips and fold forward. You can grab onto the feet or onto the shins if that feels better for you. Feel free to grab a strap and wrap it around the balls of the feet. Either way, bowing the head over the legs. Slowly lift back up, bend through the knees, and lower down onto your back. From here, send the feet up towards the ceiling, reach the arms up towards the ceiling. Not very much muscular engagement here. We're in dead bug pose. We just want to kind of flip our perspective a little bit, give our limbs a break. They've done quite a bit of work for us today. So why not? If it feels good, you can roll through the wrists, roll through the ankles. Make sure to go the other direction as well. Sometimes it just feels good to turn yourself upside down. Inversions don't always have to be, a fancy handstand, forearm stand, headstand. Sometimes you can just turn yourself upside down, lay on your back like a dead bug, and it can just totally change your mood and kind of flip your perspective a little bit. Settle your movements, bend through both knees, hug the knees in towards the center. Slowly lower both knees towards the right, getting into a gentle supine twist. Reach the left arm out long. Right hand can just rest on top of the outside of the left knee. And just take a moment to breathe in your gentle twist. Slowly lift both knees back up to center. Hug them in. And then send both knees out to the left side. Reach the right arm long to the right. And settle into your twist on this side. Slowly lift both knees back up to center. Hug them in one more time. Give them a good squeeze. And then we'll send the legs out long, getting ready for our final resting pose, Shavasana. Feel free to grab any props you might like for your final meditation. Maybe a pillow for your head or a bolster for behind the knees. A blanket to cover yourself if you're feeling a little chilly. Anything at all. Props are always welcome in Shavasana. Let's take one full body stretch. Reach the arms up overhead. Reach. From the fingertips all the way down to the toes, get super long. Engage all those muscles. And then let it all go. Let the arms rest out to the sides. Let the feet flop out to the sides. No muscular engagement. Take up as much space as you'd like. And we'll stay here in our Shavasana for a few minutes of quiet contemplation to just absorb all those beautiful yoga poses we just did, all the lessons from the Wheel of Fortune, what change can do for us. Close the eyes, settle in. Without moving the body just yet, slowly start to deepen your breath in and out, coming back to the present, coming back to the physical body. Feel your chest rising and falling. Slowly start to wiggle through the fingers, wiggle through the toes, move through the arms and legs, moving slowly and mindfully. Bend through both knees, plant both feet on the mat. And keeping the eyes closed, slowly roll onto your side, whichever side feels natural for you. Using your hand and your arm as a pillow for your head. Tucking the knees in close for fetal pose, the pose of rebirth. At the end of every yoga class, there's a moment to start over again, to be reborn, into this new moment. And just like the Wheel of Fortune says, change doesn't have to be bad. Sometimes change can be a moment to be reborn into the next version of yourself, the person you're supposed to be. Take a moment in your fetal pose to thank your body for all the hard work it's done today. And slowly use the hands to press up to a seated position. Legs crossed, hands on knees or thighs. Sit up nice and tall. We'll end our class with one big communal breath together. Maybe the biggest breath you've taken yet today. When you're ready, slowly exhale all the air out of the system. Inhale all the way to the top. Gather in as much air as you can. And exhale it all out with a sigh. Press the hands together at heart center. And bow forward, sealing your practice. Slowly lift the head, blink open the eyes.